Hey, hi Christopher. Hi, I am fair. Welcome to the podcast. And how's it going?
Very well. How are you guys today?
Very good.
Awesome.
Okay, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah,
Go.
sure. So, let's do some introduction. So, first of all, thank you, Christopher, for coming on here with us. By name, IFA, this the Q show, the aim of it is just to educate Africans on what is happening out there, what they can use technology to do, and probably some people have some business ideas on what they can, how they can go about it. So that's the whole aim. So CueShow is a part of QSoft, and QSoft is an AI company in Nigeria, and have a branch also in the United States, which the aim is also things surrounding software engineering and artificial intelligence. So that's about us, and we'd like to also get to know more about you and what you do.
Awesome. Well, I'm Chris Carter. I'm the founder of Mugatu AI, which is an AI security based platform. I'm also the chairman and CEO for AppRoyal, which does cloud computing and AI support for companies running SAP software. I'm a minority partner of the Carrick Rangers Football Club, FC, Carrick Rangers. I own a bar, and I also have a charging company called Charging Bunny, which is a solar based EV charging solution for companies or for individuals who have EV based cars. Just a little
Thank you
bit
so
of
much.
things going on in my life.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
multi-talented.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think which will lead me into the first question. How do you manage it all? Because a lot of people think that, okay, no, I just have to focus on one particular area and just double down on it without doing any other thing. So how do you manage it all?
How do I manage it all? Well, I've got an incredible wife who, for 27 years, has helped me to make sure that I've got a work life balance. I have incredible people working for me. I'm just the figurehead. I'm just the guy that comes into the office with all these great ideas, and I pass them off to everybody else. I say, "Go do it," and it's kind of funny because they do. They go and do it. And then at the end of the day, when we get back together, we come up with other brainstorming ideas and thoughts. But it comes down to really, I have incredible people who in each organization take on the responsibilities that they're supposed to, and they do them. I give them the autonomy to do that. I don't stand over the back of their heads and shoulders and start telling them to do this, this, and this. Now, I'll give some insights and some ideas, but really, I let people run with the ideas and the thoughts that we come up with and we put through our AI tools or other activities, and we go from there.
Thank you so much for that. So, uh, team are very important in being able to do all of these things. Your team has been able to implement each of these ideas, and it's awesome. It's great. So, can you tell me a little bit more about your the AI security?
Sure. So Overwatch is our tool that we use to maintain, monitor, and support organizations from an AI structure with all these individuals and companies working remotely and around the world. What it is, it's a very thin layer that sits there and literally tells them, you should not be sending this information. You should not be sending this data. You should not be a part of this information. And it literally will tell these individuals and that are on a laptop, like I'm working out of my home office today. If I was to send something that had that type of information, it would give me a red, yellow, or green light. And it would probably give me a red or yellow and say, do you really want to be sending that? Do you really want to be uploading that? And that's part of the problem that we have right now. And this is the reason we built it is you get all these individuals who are outside the corporate walls, and all of a sudden they literally start sending documents. Somebody the other day sent a 22 tabbed Excel document with all their HR and 401k information, uploaded it into ChatGPT and thought that that was okay. And it's like, why do you think that that's acceptable?
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, let me give IFL like a minute to digest that. Like
Yeah.
Christopher, you've guided businesses across 55 different industries. We often hear about digital transformation? Or what does that actually look like on the ground today compared to like 5 or 10 years ago?
Geez, what a difference. 5 and 10 years ago, we were talking about AI as machine learning. And then all of a sudden, now we're talking about AI and in every piece of software application possible, in every tool possible, infrastructure. We're talking about it in every part of every company now. It is amazing what 5 years ago, nobody even talked AI. Some of us techie guys, we talk machine learning and things like that. But then at the end of the day, what really happened is all of a sudden they put a nice, neat, clean wrapper around it and they started building out the infrastructure that we used to build out all the time. And now it's in our every day you're using something AI based. Every day I'm working in one of my tools. I literally have 5 screens right here. So I've got my 5 screens on right here. I've got us right here. I've got Google Gemini over here. I got Perplexity over here. I've got Rust. I've got Tori. I've got other tools. So I've got all my tools and everything here. 5 years ago, I didn't have all that. Sure, I did Java code or I did ABAP or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, yeah, that was it.
Nice. I think you also mentioned some of your like SAP uh solutions, like I think it's called Aproyo. Like, can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So AppRoyo is a company that is an SAP company, and SAP is a major corporation that runs companies all around the globe where it provides them with their finance, their warehousing, their manufacturing, all of their components are wrapped into one nice, neat, clean application. You've got either SAP or Oracle pretty much. Some people use Microsoft Dynamics. They used to have the old Siebel systems back in the day. So at the end, what it really does is it puts all these nice tools together so you don't have to have 15 different tools running your company. And so as part of that, we manage, run, support, and license or the tool sets for those organizations around the globe.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Um, yeah, so you kind of pitched us this conversation around translating global experience. So when you look at the African technology landscape, because that's pretty much what this podcast
Yeah.
is for, like bridging that gap between like the global landscape and then the African landscape to kind of like just merge in a way. Yeah. So when you look at the African technology landscape, which is kind of mobile fast and incredibly fast paced, which global cloud strategies do you think are most urgent for African builders to adopt?
That's a great question. Because here's where I'll say what is important, at least what I see from the African continent, is a lot more mobile, a lot more mobile. People don't sit around on desktops and laptops as they're traveling. A lot of mobile activity. Same thing I see that in Asia Pac. So more mobile, more on the go, more activities. I see AWS and GCP very high up there. Azure not as much so right now, but it's starting to get more and more. You start to see individuals that are willing to go out into Perplexity or into Snowflake and some of these tools just to build. And then you've got tools like Lovable and let's say Ravine and others that you can literally, all you have to do is talk to text and do some vibe coding, and you can do it literally. I'm doing it right here on my cell phone. I've got my Lovable app or I've got others, and I start wanting to build out some AI based solution sets, and I just do it from here. And that's where the benefit of the African continent has, because so many people just use this. And I talk to I've got a personal assistant in Nigeria. She and I chit chat every single day, multiple times, and she's constantly on her cell phone to be able to do the work that we do together. If it wasn't for her, I would be so far behind. And so it's such a benefit.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Yeah, a lot of Africans have now like started working remotely. Like we also like take advantage of that to kind of work remotely globally with people around the world. Yeah, so it's very nice to hear that from you as well.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you mentioned enjoying trying to do like real world AI adoptions. You spoke about Gemini and all of that. Uh, you also mentioned Mugatu AI.
Yes, my
So
AI.
can you give us like a concrete example of how like the AI workflow is actually saving a company money right now, rather than just being this cool tool?
Yes, so that's a great it's a great question because Mugatu AI and what it does and how it saves money for individuals and for corporations is with that security layer. Imagine you've got a team member that is, I don't know, they're a little bit rogue, maybe let's call them, and they're sending data up into ChatGPT or into whatever tool, and they're just using the straight on web. You're losing all of that data. And once that data gets put into ChatGPT or OpenAI or any, it's now their data. It's not just yours, it's everybody's data. And that's where part of the problem is. So, from a security standpoint, it literally encompasses your organization, my laptop, my cell phone, my iPad, any of my devices. And you can literally, it's a microscopic layer on there, but it will tell you when something shouldn't be there. Now, part of it, I believe, really should come down to the individuals within the organization who are literally at the CISO level. I'll call them the CISOs, the Chief Information Security Officers. Those individuals are so busy, they can't keep up with all the securities and all of the activities that are going on, all the different applications that are going in and out of the company because they're not validating it. So if you have that nice clean layer just at your operating system layer to validate all of that, then all of a sudden it becomes a tool for them. Hey, I know that our organization is secure because the tool is going to monitor it. And we have this great screen that pops up. It's a beautiful screen. It tells people red, yellow, or green light if it's good, bad, or other, how to fix it, how not to use this data. It gives them some advice. And it also gives them a security score. And in AI, a security score is a huge, that's a win right there.
Nice. So it's kind of like a firewall for
Yeah,
like using AI.
an AI firewall. I like that.
Yeah. Cool. Um, ah, yeah. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. Um, so one of the reasons why I was surprised and like I the other about what you said the other time about the HR is so I specialize in cybersecurity in my undergrad. And this information are things that you thought um like people should not do. So my question is now that regarding the Mugatu AI, do you think there's a place for uh individual education, maybe like as you educate people on social engineering and the like? So is there a place of uh educating people on that?
Yes. So educate. I don't care where you are in the world. Educated people are going to get the benefits of those activities, and even uneducated folks are going to get the benefits of those activities. And we are literally. I'm going to use a soccer analogy. Do you gentlemen play soccer?
Yeah.
Excellent. Since I own a soccer team, this is going to be perfect. So when I go out there and I'm watching the guys on the pitch or the gals, we have boys and girls, when they're first starting to warm up on the pitch, when two teams got off the bus, they got in the locker room, they put on their gear, and now they're going out there and they're just warming up to get ready for the match. That's where we're at in AI right now. We haven't even started the match. We are so early in our timing for that. It's one of those things where you literally look at it and say, gosh, what is going to change? And then literally every day, these applications are changing and changing and changing. For us three gentlemen, we're educated individuals. Heck, you're getting your PhD. I'll never do that. I'm going to give you some prop high fives on the camera because I'm never going to go that way. I can tell you that right now. Um, I, I'm too dumb for that, first of all. Second of all, I think it is a huge benefit for everybody. PhD programs, college people, if you don't want to go to college, just spend 30 days learning artificial intelligence programs. You'll be amazed at what you're going to be able to do from that point. And I just love that activity. And I think it's a huge benefit for everybody.
And then to just try to translate it to the African community, where do you think from your experience, where do you think we'll stand or being able to catch up with some of these ongoing AI evolution?
Well, I think that we're going to have, um, I think your country is on the edifice of being one of the most successful countries on the planet as it continues to evolve because you're willing to take this device and use it anywhere and everywhere. Too many people in the United States are still afraid to use that device for sales, for marketing, for promotion, for development and activities. I'm one of the few that will still do that. And I really see it as a benefit to the world stage. Your continent can grow so quickly, so easily, at least in my opinion, because you have the staff members, you have the people that are willing to embrace the technology. Other parts of the world, they're not necessarily willing to embrace it, and they poo-poo it, or they're trying to put barriers on it. They're trying to handcuff it and not let it go forward. Your continent is really willing to do that. And that's why I love work talking with you guys because you guys are embracing it. You're part of it. You want to be a part of it. And I wish more countries around the globe would really want to be a part of it.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I just like the how you were able to like relate it from apart from I mean how you can really advise or relate it to how the current tool we use, which is the phone that everybody carry around, and how we can just use that to try to catch up or to learn a lot of things. And it's very even crucial, especially in some African countries where we have like some internet connectivity issues or some electric power issues where at least the phone is always charged too. So instead of someone scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok every time, you can just, like you said, even if it's 1 hour per day, spend it for the next 2 days. They'll be amazed at what they can do. So
Really.
yeah,
Yeah, it really is. It's really amazing what it can do. And so I'm glad we're talking about this component of it because I go out and I look at when I just go out and have conversations with folks, no matter willy nilly, if I'm talking technology or I'm at an event or I'm having some discussion somewhere else. I love the fact that when I go to other parts of the world, people are willing to do and embrace those solutions and use them in that manner. And to me, I think really, a perfect example is the Philippines. If you go to Vietnam, the Philippines, that's all they do is they sell. They have their store information, and they have horrible Wi-Fi sometimes or internet activities. But at the end of the day, it really, really works positively using that device. And well, look at China. China almost what is it? 89 point some percent of all transactions are done on cell phones because all they do is they use the wallet. They just come up to it, boom. They don't carry credit cards, they don't carry money. Now we just use it for other things instead of that design for financials. Now we use it for us as coders. Hell, I can sit there with my thumbs all day long. I can sit there with my other keyboard. It's great.
actually, that's very interesting to know. So I'm just gonna hand it over to you, Ken, if you have some other questions.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is part of like your contributions to leadership, culture, and personal branding. So, you were recognized as a founder of one of the best SAP companies to work with in a remote, global economy. How do you build a good culture where technical talent actually wants to stay? Because we also have a company, and I mean, it'll be very interesting to also learn from a leader in the industry.
Yeah, owning a company is tough. As you guys know, owning a company is difficult. Look at you. You guys have got great hair. In a couple of years, you're gonna look like that. But when you hire the right people to work with you, to do the right things, to be a part of the right way to do and to be, and that's difficult. I didn't hire a lot of people right out of the chute. I decided to wait, and that was not a good thing. So it was one of those things where I thought to myself, we need to come up with a I need to come up with a way and a strategy to get others to help me. And I had to internally think I'm willing to give up some of my day-to-day control because as a new entrepreneur, you're always thinking it's me, 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 me. And it ends up where it's difficult in that regard. But once you give up that and you find the right people, I found the yin to my yang. And once you do that, it's like a great marriage. I've been married for 27 years and I also have a work wife, and he's been with me now for 14 years.
That was awesome. Yeah. So I've actually also known IFL like since I think 2007. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's been almost 20 years. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. Some of my other partners, like we've even known each other for over 20, 25, like close to that. So yeah, like it's very important to like have this very uh closely knit team. Team is very important.
Yes, the team is very important. And to be able to have that team together, that's, yeah, at the end of the day, that's when the success happens.
Yeah. So yeah. Um I think finally, like I hate to say that, but yeah, finally, like if there's a founder like listening right now in Lagos or Nairobi who is about to scale their infrastructure, what is that one thing that they should do differently tomorrow morning based on your
The one thing that they should do from an infrastructure standpoint, that so the first and foremost, I always tell everybody, just go out there and do it. I don't care if you've got an idea and you just want to do something, do it. And if you fail, fail quickly, learn from it, and do it again. I have failed more times than I've succeeded. And I'll be very honest with everybody about that. Failure is a learning experience. Failure is not the end of the day, the end of the month, the end of the year, the end of your life. You're going to have bad things happen. I have this philosophy, and behind me, I have the, I'm going to turn that a little bit. That is Rocky Balboa. The world ain't all sunshine and roses. You're going to get knocked on your butt, and you are going to get knocked on your butt every single day, especially as a business owner. But this too shall pass. And I use that quote a lot with my children. I say, this
Sure.
shall pass. When it's going good, be careful. This too shall
We shall
pass.
pass.
When it's going really bad outside and life is just miserable, this too shall pass.
Yes.
And I use that a lot. Sometimes I get too high, sometimes I get too low. And I'm always trying to better my life. I'm always trying to better the life of my staff, the people around me, my daughters and others. And so that's that's the thing I would tell every individual who is trying to start a business. Get in there fast, get in there, get it started, learn from it, keep growing. As you're succeeding, you're learning. As you're failing and falling back down the ladder of success, you're learning. But at the end of the day, just keep moving forward, and this too shall pass, and you'll do great.
Thank you, Chris. That's an incredible advice. It's very balanced. So I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking our time for to come on air for this section. And I would just like to ask my own final question,
Please.
which is that so we've talked about a lot of things and we've asked some questions and how it can relate to African entrepreneurs and how they can grow. But of course, there may be something we've missed out which you would like to tell us. So is there anything, maybe some question we didn't ask and you'd just like to share?
Not just, I hate the word just, but one of the things that you guys did a great job at interviewing me. Thank you. Um, I do, last year I did 103 podcast interviews, and I've enjoyed this one tremendously, especially on a Saturday. I'm still smiling. Well, I can go out and enjoy with some, we're going to go out to dinner tonight. So one thing I would say to everybody, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't. I tell people I've been very, very blessed. God has blessed me with the ability to be traveling and talking with people and have conversations. No matter what your lot in life is, you can be in the worst slums in the world. You can be in the best high rises in the world. It's all about you and who you are and what you're driven to do. If you're going to just sit at home and say, poor me, my lot in life, that's on you. When I was a young man, my parents divorced, and my mother took that and she said, poor me. And she just didn't want to do anything. My brother, myself, my mother, we ended up couch surfing for 8 months. I was in like something like 7 different middle schools or elementary schools, all those things. And I had it in my head. I would never, ever have that happen to me in my life. So what you do in this world, no matter what country in the world, what city, again, if you're in the penthouse or you're in the outhouse, it all comes down to you. What's inside here? My heart's over here. What's inside of your heart? What's inside of your soul? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to be a business person? Do you want to be an AI based individual? Do you want to learn? Take that and grow with it. Once you water that initial seed of I want to do it, man, there's no stopping you. You're going to bloom up to the highest tree possible. So that would be my last statement and tell everybody, water
Great.
that seed. Water the seed no matter where you are in this world.
Great. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We've
Thank you,
actually
brother.
had a very wonderful conversation with you. And yeah, I personally, I enjoyed it. And I'm sure
Thank you.
Ibuku
I did
enjoyed
too.
it. And our listeners too would definitely enjoy it. Thank you
Well,
so
I look
much for
forward to coming
joining.
over. I I put in a presentation for there's an African AI event in South Africa, I believe it is, or somewhere else. I don't remember. I'll have to ask my PA. But when I'm over there in Africa, please, somebody tell me you saw this podcast. Let's go have a coffee together or let's have a meal. I love meeting people when I travel. So please, that would be fantastic. Sorry about that. That is my lovely youngest daughter.
So, all right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Ibuku, do you have any other last word before we close it out?
Sadly, no.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it again sometime. We'll come
Every
up
good thing has to
with
end.
ideas, and then we can talk about how we can do this in person next time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
open. Open. Yeah,
Yes.
we can definitely stay in touch, like through email. Yep. If you
Please do.
ever come to Nigeria as well, yeah, you can always reach out.
Cynthia is trying to get me to come to Nigeria. I was just on a big before we leave. I was just on a cruise ship with my wife for our anniversary, and I sat down next to this very nice lady, and her family was there. And she starts, and I said, "Are you from Nigeria by chance?" Because I had heard some words going back and forth, and she looked at me and she was all confused. Why, yes, yes, I am. I said, "Well, it's interesting. I'm about to call my Nigerian personal assistant. Would you like to be on the phone when I call her?" So I started the phone and I held the phone towards her. And as soon as Cynthia got on, she was, Chris? And they started talking because of her name. She knew where she was in Nigeria and all this stuff. It was so cool. We had about a half an hour conversation. We all met. And throughout the entire 2 weeks on that boat, every time we would see each other, we'd give each other a hug and chit chat and talk and high five husband. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
That's how
That's
small the
wonderful.
world is. That's
Yes.
how small the
Yes.
world is.
Yeah, we will definitely stay in touch, and one of these days, we would really like to we would like to have you back on air, or maybe even in person. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. Cool. Yeah, for our listeners, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can follow us and get more of this content. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.